Before I start this video, I just want to say a big thank you for the overwhelming response to my Len video. As I'm uploading this, it has more than 77,000 views and at least 1.3 million impressions and has been seen by viewers in at least 25 countries. All of that is more than I could have ever imagined possible, considering I'm still pretty new to all of this, and that was only my 6th video. So again, thank you so much to anyone who's watched, liked, supported, subscribed, shared, etc. It is so appreciated, and I hope you stick around for the long haul because I'm only just getting warmed up and there's still more content to come from me. In fact, I'm in the middle of making another video similar to the Len one, but since it's turned out to be more of an undertaking than I thought, I'll instead tide you over with a quick video where I highlight some of my favorite Song of the Summer candidates for this year. After all, the Steal My Sunshine video was about what I consider to be the quintessential summer anthem, even if there were plenty of other candidates, some better than others, suggested in my comments section. Also, shout out to @DeWitt310 for being so determined to showing me why my declaring Steal My Sunshine as the greatest summer anthem was the wrong take that he started racking his brain for every possible song he thought was a better summer anthem, coming back into my replies hours or days later to add new suggestions. That is some dedicated contrarianism, my friend. Now, on with the video. Every year, there's a debate on which song most accurately captured the zeitgeist of any given summer. That could be based on how huge it was during those summer months, or how much it musically fits the summer mood, or how much you associate memories of that song with that season. But if I was to name the best summer song of 2024, it would definitely be one of the tracks I'm about to show you. Some of these will already have been huge chart hits, others not so much, but their commercial status doesn't make them any more or less deserving to me. There's already been considerable debate by all the major outlets on which song gets to earn this year's coveted title, but this video will strictly be about which songs I'd be more inclined to nominate for that distinction. And as always, let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with my choices, and feel free to suggest songs I don't cover here. Anyway, let's get to it.
Yeah, 360. When you're in the mirror, do you like what you see? When you're in the mirror.
There hasn't been a single album this summer more talked about or more often used as meme fodder than Charli XCX's Brat. Hell, even the new Democrat nominee for US president has hopped on the Brat wagon. That album is bookended by the single 360 and a similar but more sped up sequel of sorts, 365. But I'm personally going with 360 here since it's what sets the tone for arguably Charli's magnum opus, and is generally just the definition of an upbeat, futuristic summer bop.
You're just looking at me. I'm everywhere. I'm so Julia.
Charli's everywhere, she's so Julia, and so is this track, a home run of a pop song for an artist who's written many a great pop song in her life.
About me every night. Oh, is it that sweet? I kiss so.
If you asked me which song sounded most obviously geared toward trying to win the title of Song of the Summer, my instant response to that would be Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso. Anything disco funk adjacent will be primed for summer listening, but Espresso is as pristinely written a pop song as you will find this year.
Can't sleep, baby. I know that's that me espresso.
And listening to it instantly gives you visions of doing all kinds of summery things, driving with the top down, barbecues, going boating on a lake during a hot day, you name it. Some have suggested Please 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 for this title instead, but I personally don't see how that one comes close to the sweltering summer vibes Espresso has in spades. I'll be honest about Chappell Roan, I still don't completely know yet how I feel about her as an artist. On the one hand, she has clear and obvious talent and charisma and can write a killer pop hook, but on the other, her falsetto-driven vocal style just doesn't really do it for me much. But I'm putting Good Luck Babe here because it's one of the most instantly memorable pop hits of the summer, with the kind of production and song structure so many of the best 80s pop hits had. And it's a song I'll think of years from now when looking back on 2024. Chappell Roan's rise to stardom has been nothing short of rapid and stratospheric, and this tune is a big reason why.
I want you to stay.
I've seen a lot of people suggest Lunch as Billie Eilish's candidate for Song of the Summer, but Birds of a Feather is a no-brainer for me. It's definitely among the least upbeat of these song choices, but it's a sublimely written pop song from an artist who has a wealth of them under her belt at the age of 22.
Birds of a feather, we should stick together.
It's one of the most bittersweet sounding candidates you can think of for that title, but also one of the most beautiful. If there was an award for the best anthem for wistful summer nights spent looking at the moon and stars and reflecting on life, this might just win. Now, I've never really embraced genres like jungle or drum and bass, but this is a track I love that not only takes influence from those styles, but packages them in a fresh, exhilarating way that especially fits for breezy summer days.
I got places to be. Pretty brown, got me weak in the knee.
I truly believe Fred Again is one of the most brilliant minds we have in popular music right now, and this is yet another strong track from him as we await the release of his next album, one he recently said on Instagram is now finished. Anderson .Paak also improves every track he's featured on, and every situation involving him for that matter, and this is no exception.
I know you want me, obviously.
With a title and single artwork like that, you're obviously looking to get your song played during months of hot weather. And S.G. Lewis, who's one of my favorite producers to start with, and Tuve Lu deliver genuine magic with this track. They've shown themselves as a strong pair in the past on songs like Call on Me, but Heat is on another planet by comparison, in my opinion. It's thumping, it's propulsive, it's sensual, it's built for nightclubs and discos alike, and that right there is a recipe for a summer banger. I was ecstatic upon hearing that Robyn had been tapped as a feature on Jamie XX's new album In Waves, the long-awaited follow-up to 2015's In Color, and this track delivers on that promise in virtually every way imaginable for me. It's an absolute house anthem, one designed to get summer festival crowds in a frenzy, and it immediately gives you mental images of partying in Ibiza, Brighton, Saint-Tropez, Croatia, Mexico, or wherever your summer party destination of choice may be. A superb track from beginning to end. If you ask me, Neverender is the best Justice track since Cross, and getting Kevin Parker to sing on it was the full realization of the potential a collaboration between the two artists appeared to have when they were first announced to be working together. Neverender is another song that feels primed for summer festival anthem status, and the way it was received at Coachella prior to its official release is further proof of that. Justice aren't just back, they're back to making absolute fire. Of course, I've talked about these guys at length in one of my previous videos, and while they still have yet to construct a body of work rivaling their 2013 debut LP, Disclosure still make individual tracks that hit your eardrums hard. This time, that track is She's Gone, Dance On. Guy and Howard Lawrence aren't afraid to make full-on house bangers when they're not busy making more pop-oriented tracks, and this one is arguably in the same class as songs like Tondo for me. It's high energy, it's fist-pumping, it's meant to have an impact in big environments, festivals or otherwise, and it's absolutely summer anthem material to me for those reasons. For more rock-oriented candidates, you can do much, much worse than this. I saw Amyl and the Sniffers perform last year at a festival in rural Quebec without really being familiar with them, but they absolutely rocked my socks off. They are not to be missed in a live setting. You Should Not Be Doing That isn't one of the band's more energetic songs, but it's a snarling mid-tempo rock jam with a Talking Heads-esque bass line as its bedrock that sounds geared very much for bars when their patios open up for the summer. Frontwoman Amy Taylor is in top form on this track. She's as confident, abrasive, and foul-mouthed as ever, and it's just a stellar rock song. These guys are my favorite band right now, and you can bet I'll make a video entirely about them somewhere down the line. But Favorite is one of the simplest and yet most beautiful songs Fontaine's DC have made to date, and it feels appropriate for a mid-afternoon listen on summer days in the park to me. It really feels like Grian Chatten is starting to entrench himself as one of the great musical storytellers of the moment. And this song feels like a wonderful step forward for a band who have yet to release a single mid-album.
I've been a nasty girl, nasty. I've been a nasty girl.
It's admittedly hard for me not to make this list without including the song that birthed one of the catchphrases of 2024.
Somebody gonna match my freak? Is somebody gonna match my freak?
Also, just in general, songs that are equal parts confident and shamelessly horny tend to make great summer anthems. It's definitely one of the more minimalistic sounding candidates based on its production, but it's the kind of song you'll probably hear at nightclubs the rest of this summer if you haven't already. Not many other songs out right now can match its freak. The track that helped set up one of the all-time great rap beefs. More on that in a bit. As for Like That, this is a song that promises to be a spectacle of some kind when it first starts playing, though you can't tell if that spectacle will be more celebratory or sinister. It doesn't take long to realize it's the latter. Metro Boomin's contrast between chirpy horns and dark strings gives the song an eerie, ominous underbelly, something that becomes even more obvious when we get to Kendrick's part. He goes off on both Drake and J. Cole, as the song is a response to their song First Person Shooter, in a way that helps set off a chain of events that leads to Cole dropping out of the quote-unquote Big 3 fight and Drake sparring very publicly with K-Dot. Speaking of which...
How many options you really got? I mean, it's too many options. I'm finna pass on this body.
I'll be real for a second here. I avoided following the Drake-Kendrick beef for as long as I could until it took up too much oxygen to ignore. I don't normally like to see two artists I've adored over the years, including one I based my entire first video for this channel around, beefing with each other.
Stop marding.
Having said that, this truly was a rap battle for the ages, and one that instantly feels on a different level than, say, 50 Cent versus Ja Rule or Jay-Z versus Nas. But musically, the crowning achievement and knockout punch of the entire feud's back and forth of diss tracks between the two artists was Not Like Us, an excoriating and vicious track that also just so happens to be very catchy.
They not like us. They not like us. They not like us.
Not only does the song itself directly accuse Drake of some horrible crimes, but both the video and Kendrick's Juneteenth concert that united members of the Bloods and the Crips on stage added the maximum amount of insult to Aubrey's injury. As far as summer songs go, few go quite as hard or carry as much lyrical vitriol as this.
Already dead.
Despite all of those candidates, my personal favorite song of this summer is one I haven't seen many people talk about, but for me, I didn't even think twice. The debut album by Nigerian songstress Tems, Born in the Wild, drips with sweat and summer throughout, much like her musical output already had done by that point. And on this album, Gangsta, Burning, and the J. Cole featuring Freefall all fit that bill admirably. But for me, Love Me Jeje is the creme de la creme of not just Tems' album, but of summer songs this year in general.
I'm on your wave right now.
The guitars, the light percussion, Tems' vocals, the fact that it's based on a famous Nigerian Afro soul hit, the romantic lyricism, all of it screams summer to me. And that becomes even more apparent from its music video being filmed in her hometown of Lagos. More specifically, it feels like summer fling music, the kind you play during a makeout session with your crush. It's not one of the better performing candidates commercially, but it ticks every possible box for me as far as what I'd want a quintessential summer song to be. For me, Love Me Jeje is the track to beat. Thank you guys so much for watching. What did you think of my picks? What's your song of the summer of 2024? Do you want more content like this from me? As always, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, comment, and share, as well as subscribe to my channel if you're new here. This has been Sound and Vision, and I'll see you next time.